Welcome to my YouTube channel, D2I Training. So this week, I want to talk about and address using an animal in our home security plan and our defense plan. And a couple weeks ago, there was an incident that took place that kind of sparked the idea for this video. And what took place was we had a neighbor ask us to dog sit their animal while they're on vacation. And we'd never met this animal. And so when we went over there for the first time, we walked in their house and this dog was ecstatic to see us. He was so happy. And it dawned on me in that moment the false sense of security that an animal may provide. And so I want you guys to look at your animal objectively and ask yourself the question, do I have a pet or do I have a guard/protection animal? And so with that being said, let's look at some of maybe the pros and cons of using an animal in our home security plan. Some of the pros obviously start with the companionship. Animals are great when it comes to companionship. Anybody that's had a dog can attest to that. And if you are looking at getting a dog, then I'm sure if you're looking at a dog, you already know about that. But a second one is visual deterrence. So anybody looking into a window and sees dog bowls, maybe a dog pillow, it's gonna make them hesitate. It may even make them want to move on to an easier target. So there's that visual of an animal, the presence of an animal, and the deterrence that it may provide. Also understand that an animal is great because it can obey commands, and you can teach them specific things according to your home defense plan. So that is also a great advantage because you can tailor fit an animal to your overall security plan. And another great thing is that they're portable. Okay, you can take them with you if you go on a walk. If he's trained for like a service animal, he can go with you practically anywhere, in any business, because well, they can't kick you out because it's against the law if he's a service animal. So understand that these security measures can be portable. Now let's get into some of the cons. Now, first off, I understand that there's going to be a lot more pros and cons that I'm going to be able to address in this video, but at least you're going to at least look at your animal and start asking yourself the question of whether you have a pet or a security animal. So some of those cons are the cost. Animals are expensive. So this animal himself was pretty expensive, and that was just the initial cost. And the initial cost is usually probably the cheapest part. It's the continual upkeep and the continual weekly cost, food, vet bills, care, and everything that comes into it, anything that they destroy is ultimately the biggest expense when it comes to these. And now when it comes to time, they are very time consuming because it takes a lot of time and energy to train them, especially when you're going to use them as a security/protection animal. Now, some people do have the money and they can hire a professional to do it. But if you're an individual that either likes to do it yourself or you don't have the money to do it, just be forewarned that in order to train an animal to be a protection/guard dog, it is very, very time consuming. And once they learn the commands, it's still an ongoing process because just because they've learned once, you still have to continually refresh their memory of those commands. And something else that has been brought to my attention is when I walk down the neighborhood, when we take him for a walk, it's amazing how many animals bark. And then when these animals bark, we as humans become numb. It's just an everyday noise, an everyday occurrence. And so to think that our animals, that it's going to alert us to any intruders or anything like that, that's maybe walking around our perimeter, maybe scoping us out, we just become numb to their bark. It's not really even an early warning device. Now, if you train your animal, or if maybe your animal only barks at specific things, then that's a different topic because you know how he's going to act. But if he's a dog that just barks at anything that moves or any other unwarranted noise, then you can't really use him even as an early warning device because we just become numb to it. Also understand that if you've trained him to become a guard or guard/protection animal, just understand that when guests and family members come over, that he may become a liability. He may see something that you may not, or he may misinterpret something, and he may by someone that didn't warrant a bite. So just understand that there are liabilities when it comes to using an animal. So in conclusion, you need to look at your pet and understand and ask yourself the question, do I have a pet or do I have an animal, a protection animal? And even if you do have a protection animal, you need to take in consideration that it's still not a guarantee. If you have someone break into your house that is intimidating, that may be big in stature, an animal can become frightened just like we can. And he can be scared off into a corner and become very unreliable. So even an animal can be bypassed or can be rendered useless. If you use him like what we discussed in one of my previous videos, and using him as one security measure and using him as one layer integrated with other security measures, then he can very well be a very valuable asset. And so with all that being said, just ask you guys selves that one question. Do I have a pet or do I have a security / guard protection dog? Leave all your comments and suggestions below. Leave anything that would be helpful for all of us that are watching this so that we can all become a harder target. And make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so that you guys can stay up to date on any new personal security tips that we release.